Today we're going to talk about karma, about cause and effect.
Now, Ganesh Lagos in Raje, Danga to get Jalaro, Nakare Chevine, di Yoagi, Gudikura, Kambal Masona, Chevine, Dambo Kamba Suegi, Gukure, Ne Kalal Masona, Kala Suegi, Gudikura, Anzugi, Chike, Mubo Chuk and China, Gucci let in a key or Madu Gumeba, Yamarwa, Tisada, and the Medor of Shine, Medor Yabuality, Gulet in a key or Shindo in a ton, Chishindo Ricare in a Gucci in a key or.
What is meant then by this expression cause and effect? Well, all our possessions, whether our home or the food we have or the food we make from this, all of this is, on one hand, it's impermanent, and all of it comes about in dependence on causes. The home we live in, the food we have, the food we make, the plants in our garden, all of these come about in dependence on causes. So everything that is impermanent, that changes moment by moment, these come about in dependence on causes.
And then usually Yunguinza, Danga, Karine, Chik, Dambo, Bendigo, Masona, Yabochuale, Dambo, Cutie, Trupche, Guma, Savan, Tap, Dene, and Chiki, Chudan, Lu, Japche, Dene, Chiki Shingo, the Yaboyaki, Duschenang, the Hago, what is that? Dene, Gushile, Dene, Kigo, betting as a Hago, and the Jebu Shindo de Yaboyala, and the Gudile Yaboche, Gudi Yabutu, Chizan Gudi Yabutu Savana, the Jebu de Yaboyungura, Bendigo Carina, Chitinish, Shindo Rigre, Medo Rigre, Chiaposha, Jebu di Medo de Yaboyala, Yaposhala, and Dambo Medo, Tafsa such a Yapochna, Chuda Yapoto, Subsubchin, and Bijichin, Gudi Yapochis to Gorwa. They let in a Jebu Yungu body, and to say how to Gorwada.
And furthermore, for a result to come about depends on the cause being accumulated, and the better the causes are accumulated, the better the result will be. So you all know that if one has a wish for a particular tree or plant to grow in one's garden, merely having that wish will not bring it about. That's not a suitable cause. One has to plant the relevant seed or sapling, and moreover, bring about the required conditions. Needs the right amount of warmth as well as water and the right type of soil. So all those conditions, those causes are required, and if they're properly accumulated, one can have confidence that the desired result will come about. So this illustration from our garden is easy to understand, and the principle applies that if there's a result that one desires, or an effect that one desires, that won't come about through mere longing, but through the accumulation of the causes. And the better the causes are accumulated, the greater will be the ripening result, or the subsequent result.
Ane dunga de kugo mare sire. Tezada dini yenzang anzo dewa diyang karel yungurusne gyuchi le tene yungur mado gyume bala dewa yunga mare. Tezan dunga yunga digine gyuchi le tene dunga yungur mado ane dunga meba gyume bada dunga yunga mare. Tezan dunga nga zoge dewa sena dunga sena tezan gyuchi le tene kihore.
When you start thinking about cause and effect, one thinks about something that's easy to understand, such as the plants in one's garden. But it doesn't only, cause and effect doesn't only relate to material objects. It relates to all impermanent things, in particular our minds. So us as sentient beings, as humans, we all share an innermost desire, a strong yearning to experience only happiness. We're all the same in this, and we all have the wish to avoid all forms of suffering and frustration and misery, no matter how slight. So happiness and problems and difficulties, these too are results And being results, they come about in dependence on causes. So when you recognize that we have a yearning for happiness, and that happiness itself is a result, then we need to identify and accumulate those required causes. Because without the causes having been accumulated, the resultant happiness cannot be experienced. And likewise, the suffering that we wish to be freed of, or the problems and difficulties in our life that we wish to be freed of, these are results. And being results, they come about in dependence on causes. So those causes need to also be identified.
Dewa ki dewa dan dunga yang ki la le sigur dan so le sigur dan dile tene le sa bala tene ane dewo dunga yang gore ane dewo yang gore chesa dene ki dunga yang ki da ki dene le tene dewo dunga yang gore ki dene sa ba na dewo tiki yang gore sa je di she de la le ki te sigur.
This is then, when we're thinking about cause and effect, the key way that we need to look, or the key area we need to apply it to, is in terms of how to achieve the happiness that we desire and to be freed from the suffering that we don't desire. So this has these two results of happiness and suffering come about in dependence on causes. Those causes are what is meant by the term karma. Karma is causes. And we accomplish karma, from this will come results. So when we're talking about karma, we really are talking about the causes that are accomplished and the results that follow. So if we talk about karma, we can say it specifically refers to causes, knowing that from causes come results. But we can also say more generally, it refers to both terms, cause and effect.
Dine zanga zo migi dewa deba la ko ya le dewa chupche dewa ko den debi yu ya ga tandala ane dewa ya ga tandala ngan sugi chiki penchu ane si ma ja da an mi shan je kuma ku ya da mi shan ya tupche da ya da ko ho da ya da de ri mong bu chung ko re si san de so ngan zo dewa ju ya ge dewa yu de ni che di je di dewa ya ga tandala ji ko de desolatine dunga yongure mado dewa yong mares chesandi dewa tutadi no ares no go res ire.
We have this deep impulse to experience only happiness and to be freed from suffering and problems, and this motivates what we do. But because people are largely ignorant of the actual causes that lead to happiness and the causes that lead to suffering, they engage in a variety of activities, accumulating causes, accumulating karma, hoping for happiness, but then experience only suffering. When people engage in forms of conflict, whether they're great forms of conflict such as warfare, or whether it's interpersonal conflict, physical or verbal, this is done with a wish to be freed of problems and to experience happiness. But because the causes for happiness is not being accumulated, happiness is not experienced from this. Likewise, when people take advantage of others, when they cheat others or steal from others, they're doing so with a hope to experience happiness themselves, to be freed of problems, to overcome problems, and therefore they take advantage of others, they steal from others. But these are not the appropriate causes for happiness. So being ignorant of this, they actually accumulate causes that only lead to suffering.
And in that, Sanya Jimna de Karasungorasene, Sosugi, Deo Devaina, Deo Gudi, and the Yahush Chukore, the Yahushing was Kugores. Chesanazo Dunga Gugu Mare, Chesana Dunga Gumo and Dunga Gudi, Mazole Mavas Ores, Chesna Di Dunga Ma Seta de Dan. The Yutuagi Gudi, Mangazo Yapo Church, Yaboshing, Shingbarchene, and Lalantawaina, Bejebaina, and the Yabotuyadan, and Duma set to a young Restinza, Duma Gudi Yabohamogona, and the Meba Sotan Mares, the Yutuagi Gudi Abomagona, and the Yututan Yaboshing Mares, and Dinenza, and Mazuki, the Yutuyata Duma Sealia. Dunga di Kukanis de Lungore se begge di Gudi Mameva Soyata, and the Guyaya Gudi Ansuki Bezuchine, Tupuadi,
In this regard, Buddha Shakyamuni taught explicitly that it's imperative that beings come to understand what are the correct causes that lead to happiness and what are the causes that lead to suffering. The Buddha taught then that the knowledge is imperative. If knowledge is lacking, one will accumulate, despite having the desire for happiness and be freed of suffering, one will not accumulate the appropriate causes, and one will not avoid what should be avoided. So therefore, Buddha Shakyamuni was explicit that when he taught that beings have to have the knowledge of what are the causes that lead to happiness and what are the causes that lead to suffering. Because in dependence on this knowledge, they can train their minds, they can engage in practice so as to strengthen the causes that lead to happiness and ensure that they avoid accumulating causes that lead to suffering and even purify previously accumulated causes that would otherwise ripen in suffering. So therefore, the Buddha emphasized the need for knowledge.
ane dunga di gyudi kana chile yongore se de migawa cheba ina ane migiwe le se de migawa cheba ina anzo dikwa yongore kasa gore dikwa res dibele la gore jesan dela tene ane ngas ma bana dunga yongore es ne gewa di migawa de pa se pa bang gewa duba ina gewa di dela tene ane ma bana karayos digi yongore es jesan digi gyudi gewa duba gewa di res gewele se de res 다른 아주 동화의 규리가 쓰는 미개와 세들이 진짜 미개벨에 세아디 차고레스 진짜 딩이디 개벨에서다 미개벨에서 간지를 거리 디파하고 같이 디냠에 저거디 계시면서
With understanding then that through the accumulation of particular causes, a particular result will follow. And happiness and desired happiness and undesired suffering are results that come from causes. So then what are the causes that lead to suffering? Well, these are the activities of non-virtue or non-virtuous karma. So it's through accumulating non-virtuous karma that suffering is experienced. So to express that differently, in dependence on previously accumulated non-virtuous karma, one experiences unwanted suffering and problems and difficulties. Conversely, the happiness that we desire, this comes about independent on the accumulation of virtuous karma. So independent on the prior accumulation of virtuous karma, happiness is experienced. So from non-virtuous karma, suffering results. From virtuous karma, happiness results.
추송고를 미가 추셔야지. 디 나저기 가르스고서 나저기 류가 있으면 리고래. 디 가르스네 나저기 소주바 소소라는 게 류지원 시 소주바 제네 소주바나 데니기레디 디바레스 소주바 디바레 디 미게벨레레. 데네 구마고 마젠발렘 바세. 디야 미게 와서 그래. 데네 로엠제바. 아니 밀야 주인시 고고다 주인시바. ane chama cheba si mini chenpu yoba la para chushenja ji mitin pa siwa chama cheba dene si nga ge kone tsik duksha milya tsik duksha milya nyoya ge tsik duksha la ane tsik sup siwra de so tsik sup dene nga cha si de dene nga juge donda gyune meba ta mara geshi shene ane dene ge she de nga cha che dene napsim si de shengi jaladi ki ngala rahudu dingal gogudu sempege dene mishandage jaladi ki dingal gogudu sempege samtadi beden napsim sigore de nyesim sigore nyesim lane mishanle ya kechik ne nyebachi ya kanga cheya da dene ki chawachi ge samlodi ge nyesim da lokta sedi dene le gyunde sa de yo mare sangi che yo mare sa da ane konjosum yo mare dene samdaya dige ane lokta sigore jeza deso socheba majimba lemba logem sen ngazu lui kone ane kasore kaso nga diploma sona saya sumyongore ta nga ge kone kishene diposaya dela shiyongore junjada chama sa tsup nga kyasedi nga kone sha sa ko ta ngazu sim samda chene dene ane napsim 뇌심 록다세 대숨게도 아니 미가와래 제산 디 미가와 주요래 디 주보데 제바이나 디 미클레 미가와사고 딜레 때네 가서 동아용 거래 제 동아용의 그 규디 디 주디래서 그래.
Hearing this, then the thought will come, so what are these, what is meant by non-virtuous karma? What are these causes that ripen in suffering experiences? Well, the presentation here is divided, you could say divided into three, in terms of the activities that one performs with one's body, as well as the activities, verbal activities, our speech, our verbal communication, and then thirdly, our mental activities, our ways of thinking. And when these are further expressed, they are expressed in terms of 10 non-virtuous actions. So these 10 non-virtuous actions lead to the accumulation of non-virtuous karma, which results in suffering. So when the Buddha taught that one needs to come to know what the causes are that lead to suffering, these are the 10 causes that one needs to know, so that in dependence on this knowledge one can avoid them. So these 10 are: first, killing, the taking of life. Second is stealing what belongs to someone else. The third is sexual misconduct. Then the fourth is lying others, or being deceitful, intentionally deceitful. The fifth is speaking in a harsh manner, or swearing at others, or speaking to others in a harsh way. Then the next is acting in a divisive way, or speaking in a divisive manner. So, for example, where two people either have a close and harmonious relationship, or at least get on and don't have any problems, where one acts to divide them. So this is the sixth, and the seventh then is idle speech, or meaningless speech. Then the seventh is covetousness, a mind of desire, longing, wishing for a variety of things. And then the ninth is harmful intent, the intent to bring harm, the wish for harm to come to others. And lastly, that of wrong views. So that is views such as there's no such thing as cause and effect, that there's no such thing as past and future lives, that liberation from suffering, or the attainment of nirvana or enlightenment, these aren't possible. So those kind of wrong views. So these are the 10 non-virtuous acts. And when these are accumulated, one is accumulating non-virtuous karma that results in suffering. And these 10 then are presented in accordance with the activities of our body, speech and mind. So those of the 10 that relate to physical activities, those of our body, would be the first three: killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. Those that relate to our speech or verbal activities are the 4: lying, harsh speech, divisive speech, and idle speech. So those of the body and speech make 7, and the last 3 are mental activities: covetousness, harmful intent, and wrong views. And these are the 10 non-virtuous actions to be avoided.
Di chubotila migawa chula gore, di chuboti kayawa chebaina as a migawili sa gore, Chisan socho chebaina, socho badi migaware, Chisan di cabla as a migawili sa gore. Di tebutila as a mombana caringurasene, and sochi big tebutila, and sosoina mombana, and the kawaki. Deso chubotigi led shuk chimbora, nuba chimbora, shuk chimbora jebaina, digi tebudia, nuba chayung, nyawasa the kirore. Then ding ding ro chebaina, digi tebudi, nuba ding tebu, the chunga ligora, then ida sad giada. There's the nigi, migo chuba de chunga rupchina, nuba chunga rupchina, and then dundrola giada, the ningorva, the nenza, tapin the sojo jebaina, tebu karingurelana, mahobana, and the chigi, and Hansugi. Kesi mil nyamakiwa socho mambo chebana ngazu mil kiaba inayang digi socho be tebu digi nyama socho be tebu digi ngazu mil kiaba inaya karigong sene tebu karigong sene che tung tung ne na za mango yong rejere ane da nyewe dunga da de nyong sarche bene migo juji be dunga digi ma nyewe dunga nyong sarche ane tebu chik zo sarche ya mil ya kiaba ina ya dela tebu di nyama socho ge tebu dunga de Debutan Setungcha, Nena the Mamboy Umres.
It's these 10 non-virtuous actions which, if one engages in any of them, one is accumulating non-virtuous karma that results in suffering. So these 10 acts, such as that of killing, of taking life, the non-virtuous act, when this cause ripens as a result or as an effect, that result will be an experience of suffering. And as we heard earlier, that for a result to come about, one needs to accumulate the appropriate cause, and the better the cause, or the more complete or the stronger the cause is accumulated, the stronger or greater will be the result. And this is true for both non-virtuous as well as virtuous karma. So when it comes to any of the non-virtuous karmas as well as virtuous, the stronger the cause, the stronger the result. And when a non-virtuous karma ripens in a propelling karma that leads to a rebirth, so at the time of death, one of these will ripen, and if it is a non-virtuous imprint, it will lead to a rebirth in a realm of great suffering. And the stronger this cause that ripens at the time of death, the greater the suffering will be in terms of the rebirth that one attains. So if it's a very powerful negative deed that ripens as a propelling karma that propels a particular rebirth, one will be born in a hell realm and experience unimaginable suffering. If the imprint that ripens is just of average strength, then one would be born in one of the spirit worlds or spirit realms. And if the non-virtuous imprint that ripens at the time of death is weaker, it will lead to rebirth as an animal. Moreover, if a non-virtuous imprint ripens, but not in terms of propelling a rebirth, but in terms of what one experiences in life, let's say an imprint of having killed many people, if that ripens and one experiences that result as a human being, one will have a very short lifespan, or one will experience many illnesses during one's life. So these are results of experiencing many illnesses or having a short lifespan. These are results. They've come from causes. And they would come from a cause such as, a powerful cause such as having killed, having taken many lives. So in this way we can start to come to understand this relationship between cause and result. We don't have time to look at this in some detail. Hopefully in the future we will. But when you talk about results, there are a variety of results which has just been alluded to here. So there's an environmental result, there is a result that propels the rebirth, there's a result where one experiences a result similar to the cause that one created, and there's a result of habituation where one continues to engage in those same kind of activities that one had previously engaged in. So the same karmic imprint, or the same virtuous or non-virtuous imprint, can ripen in differing ways, such as the environment, such as in a rebirth, such as a habituation to an activity, or receiving results similar to what one accumulated in the past.
Lugi migawa sum agi migawa shi migawa sum de juboti ditire se migawa dire jesan di chen dunga yungure samche deletene jebu dunga yungure sambege samhago ensa dipaya de kechimore dipaya gi paya ge pasabana gewa sewa gewa chuchago da migawa chuyo baza migawa chupangbe dokcho chudi gewa chusakre denege gewa chubo deletene jebu kamang ban jebu karingosene dikiyo adire.
We don't have time to go through all the results in some detail here, but what needs to be known, that these 10 non-virtuous acts that one engages in physically or verbally or with one's way of thinking, from these only suffering follows. So this needs to be known, and independent on knowing this, one will have the wish not to engage in these. And in dependence on that wish of not wanting to engage in these acts, because one has some certainty that only suffering will follow, one will rather engage in their opposite. And their opposite acts are the 10 virtuous actions. The 10 non-virtuous acts only lead to suffering. Engaging in their opposite are virtuous acts, and they are the causes that lead to happiness.
당보 소취바디 미케와체 소취바 빵베 빵바 시디 소취 빵베 빵바라네 개와레 마진발람바 빵베 빵바 마진발레 소취바 빵바 마진발렘바 빵바 아니 로옌 빵바 준 빵바 차마 빵바 츠수 빵바 나캬 빵바 된 납심 빵바 뇌심 빵바 로타 빵바신 디추보 빵바디 빵베 주디 빵샤 주디 데 개와 주시오레 디게와 주바텔레테네 마즈티부 디기용고레.
First, the translator didn't say that last bit so clearly, but now again said it similar again, so now it will come more clearly. So having recognized that those 10 non-virtuous acts only lead to suffering, one develops the clear resolve not to engage in them. So this clear resolve not to engage in these 10 non-virtuous, that itself is the abandonment of 10 non-virtues, and that commitment to abandon, to turn away from the 10 non-virtues, that thought itself is virtuous. That intention not to engage in the 10 non-virtues is the 10 virtues. So for example, knowing that killing is non-virtuous acts, the commitment to not kill again, that thought, that mind, that commitment, I will no longer kill, I will no longer take life, is the virtuous act of abandoning killing. Likewise, understanding that stealing from others, stealing is a non-virtue and leads to only suffering. Now I commit, I will not steal. I will not steal again. That mind is a mind that is of abandonment, abandoning stealing, and that is a virtue. That is the virtuous act of abandoning stealing. Similarly with sexual misconduct, the abandonment of sexual misconduct is a virtue. The abandonment of lying is a virtue. Similarly, seeing the faults that come from harsh speech, and harsh speech is non-virtuous and only leads to suffering, the commitment to abandon harsh speech is a virtue. The commitment to abandon idle speech is a virtue. And these all create causes for happiness, being virtues. Likewise, the mind of covetousness, this mind that desires things, seeing that that is a cause that leads to suffering, one's commitment to abandon this is in itself a virtue. It's the virtue of abandoning covetousness. Likewise, the abandonment of harmful intent and the abandonment of wrong views. So these are the 10 virtuous acts, and they lead to the accumulation of virtuous karma, which results in happiness.
And then is that Gewachi de that Gewachi de Thubten de Kare to Boras and that is on the Samla Taje, Madoshe, Chikle Dumdi Hora chair, Kale Chara meeting at a and to Songa, Chik Kipjero, Chichalaro, Mamuga, Marva, and to get Socho Pamba, like so Samlo Nading, Simchin, so you can do so, Kuni Chigme, Sambege, Socho says out in the Jigmea, Sambe Samlodi. That socio pampa, some did some died. Yes, some socio says, oh, in the Jimmy, some Damja, some tidy, the Hana socio pampa chagore. It's not that in case some socio Jimmy, some J, and did Honem, so Geshe, Sol, and Yanga, you can do so Jovialia, Besich come to the Chetuadi, Geshimacha, so Joviagi. Bendigo, Chuna, and the Chuna, Dayata, Simchen Shirochi and the Rochata, one million, the near Nazaratu, Shirochi, Qualiatic, Robochi, Menjueta, and Cornella, Tayaga, Donagi, and Shengi, Benny Simchen, Duno in Nata, me Nata, so come to do Geshengi, so Jovialia, Besociati, and that each Javana Manzukim, Gavasati, Sochi Pompik, Gavasagore. Just not digi. Simja Sochu in the Jimmy, Samla Tamja, some Tige, Tamjaja. Then also Nubi Gang Tutugi, Shan saw Govia Bizu Chevaina, and then Sochu Pampa Gavasa Gavadi.
And the presentation just given now on what is meant by the 10 virtues should be, hopefully it's clear that we're talking about here just changing one's way of thinking. There's no need to go out and buy something, to go to the shop down there and buy something. There's no need to actually even do something. It's really about transforming our way of thinking. The Buddha Dharma is about understanding our mind and transforming our mind into something virtuous. So this is what we're trying to do, to recognize the faults of the non-virtues, to see what is meant by virtue and its benefits, and thereby mentally commit to turning away from non-virtue in its entirety and embracing virtue. So we're talking about changing a way of thinking, but not merely nodding and agreeing, yes, that's good to do, but changing a way of thinking in a manner that's heartfelt, that's sincere, that's making a promise to oneself. I will not engage in these physical activities, these verbal activities, or even this way of thinking. When this way of thinking, say harmful intent, wishing harm to come to others, being angry with others, when that arises, I will turn away from that. I will not follow those thoughts. It's giving rise to this intention with sincerity. And if one does so, that commitment will not stay merely mental, but one will act it out through one's way of speaking, through one's way of physically acting and behaving. For example, when one makes the commitment, I will not kill anymore, and this is sincere and heartfelt, with ease one will not kill at all. But moreover, when we see a being in danger, when we come across a being such as an insect in a puddle or a pool of water, and we see this insect thrashing around and desperate to try and somehow get out of for itself is a large ocean. Very naturally, the wish to protect this life, to save this life will arise, and we will do so. Our commitment has only been not to kill, but because of the sincerity of that commitment, that it has transformed our way of thinking, naturally, when the opportunity comes our way to act on that intention, we will do so, and we will save this being. So this is a measure of the sincerity of our mental commitment, in that it has an impact on the way of communicating and interacting in the world.
소주 지금에 선배 삼로디 추림시고 추림송아 소주 방패 추림송시고래 제사디 같이 숙체고 뭐 삼다베네 디기 깨와치마 가서 하다 밀레야 기투고래 하다 밀게야다 내니 디테고 깨와치마 하다 밀게야 아니 마세 하다 밀게 내가서 체령부 내나자 용화 용거를 제사 마음을 밀게 바나 체령보다 룰이야 내나자 매바이나 디매 마버스 고고를 와데 제사 디네장 소주 지금에 선배 삼로 따도 추림송 디네 디기 데볼레 깨와치 말하다 미고와 토투야다 아니 디네 하다 미고와 토베 땡텔이야 체령와다 내나자 매바 용거를 해제를 되고들 디네 인장 아 저기 소주 제바이나 깨와치 망가서라 깨야다 아니 가서기 디테보들라 네 체통와 내나서 마리고로와 대상 안줄 먹어야 돼 가르고 그거면서 내나서 먹고 그거만 체통도 그거 말에 고야 돼 가르고 그거서는 류 대바 셈기고 안 체름고 야고 그거로 수부들 대당 그거라 되네 인자 수부 대당 그거에는 체대량아서 셈자 소주 지금에 셈배 소에 삼바다 삼다 곰 엔데네 엔데리게 소주 소를 교배하게 강톱지도 제바이나 개와치마 디보들 하다미고 강톱도야다 안체링마다 내매바 용거리에서 지사딩한 쪽에 내 삼로 따야지 개침보래.
So when one acts out this clear commitment not to harm others, because the thought was I won't kill, but when it's really sincere, one won't harm, and then when the opportunity comes to save life, we will do so. And this is the ethical conduct of saving life. This is a virtuous act. So the commitment not to kill is a virtuous act, accumulating virtuous karma that leads to happiness. Furthermore, when one saves a being from danger, this too is a virtuous act, virtuous karma, and will ripen in happiness. So similarly, conversely to what we heard earlier we heard that if one kills, one accumulates non-virtuous karma, that when it ripens as a propelling karma and propels a rebirth, it will be a rebirth in the suffering realm. Depending on the strength of the cause, will lead to rebirth in a hell, or as a spirit, or as an animal. So conversely here, depending on the strength, the strength of the karma that has been accumulated, or the virtuous karma accumulated by this commitment not to kill, so the virtuous act of committing not to kill, as well as the strength of the karma accumulated by saving a life, by protecting life, should such a karmic imprint ripen at the time of death, it will propel rebirth into a happy migration, a rebirth such as a human, like we have in this life, or as a god. Moreover, should such a virtuous karma be experienced during a life, it will be experienced in the opposite way from the non-virtuous imprint. Our life will be long, it will be healthy. So here we see how the accumulation of non-virtue leads to suffering results, such as rebirth in the suffering lower realms, having short life, many illnesses. The accumulation of virtue leads to happy results, desired results, such as rebirth as a human or god, in a happy migration, having long life, having a healthy life. So here when you come to understand what are the causes that lead to happiness and the causes that lead to suffering, in dependence on this knowledge, and knowing what we do desire, we all desire to have a comfortable, happy life with good health and a long life. Those are the causes then we need to accumulate. And the causes that lead to the undesired results of suffering, those we need to not only not accumulate, but make the specific mental intention of, I will not accumulate those causes. So it's not merely enough to not kill, but one needs to generate the intention not to kill. And that is the act of virtue. The not killing is merely not killing, not accumulating non-virtue. The commitment not to kill, that is a virtuous act. So coming to know then what are the causes for happiness, these are what we should strive to accomplish.
Denegi samdanje dela tene kariyungura sene tibutila mohobana mazugi kawakiwa ne sosorangi lonju sayatuya da sosu peshita lonju de yabuyungore and then dela tene mazane sosugi jalaro jino kumada shoyada layada meba yabuyungore jesa deneza kuma kume sembe samlodi sunayadi and samdayadi majimbaleba pangba kewaso Denige samdaje sosugi ta gang tudugi sosugi yang mi kuma se zaw yin ku me a sambe samdane dine sosurangi xianle penbi gi jimbaro che ga je dang tudu che bai na ane delya bi zu shi ku gore bene ka xie le kala gi jimba ka xie yang ji dulo jimba ka xie yang ji gang a che de ro go che lu yi ho ne jimba yang ka xie le ma xing ba da nga go la bia jimba de lu nga yi sum gang gi thone ne sosugi jimba sosugi nuba yoba de xian ya ro che yi nuba de gang tudu che gore che re 제가 구마구매 선배 삼랐다 디케와 제가 디토네다 수수기션에 진비기 냠면까지 주도 제바는 개와레스 제가 디 데부들라 가랑었네 제와 치마 소소랑 가와 기베네 밀게베나 둔도 가와 기베네 디 데부들라 소소레 사야도야 소소 고야기 롱주디게 약불리기레스 안에 소소기 롱주디게 소소 여바디게 미 초한 구마다 잡아매바 마라 마체바데 약불용거래 해제 디 데부들라 지상한주 고야 될라 가와께베네 지금 롱주 튕긴디게 야부 고야다 여바디 미션이 마초바도 구마기 구마라 마쇼와도 고야디 계치모 최고로와 되네 인자 아 저기 마홈바네 되네게 소소 롱주 야부 요야다 델야 바르시 구마다 되네 마케베네 삼타베네 디 요야라 야가도 유가르사고스네 구마자오기는 미치게 심베 삼나타 디 야네 야도 타야다 아니 소소기 강도 지도게 샹야 류가 있으면 로아체 짐바 짐베냠네 제디
The second physical non-virtuous act was that of stealing. And if this ripens in a life, then one will be impoverished, one will be poor. And moreover, it will be difficult to break that cycle of poverty. It will be difficult to accumulate resources, to accumulate some wealth and break out of that poverty. So this suffering result comes about in dependence on causes such as stealing. Seeing that stealing, taking what is not one's own, is non-virtuous and leads to suffering, then the virtuous act is the intentional commitment, the promise to oneself, I will not steal, I will not take what is someone else's. And that promise is virtuous. And the more sincere, the more heartfelt, the stronger that promise, the greater the virtue that comes from that. And in dependence on this virtue, in our future lives, when that result is experienced, resources will come easily to oneself. One will have an abundance to eat. One will not be impoverished at all. Moreover, from this promise not to steal and to take from others, the habituation not to engage in that activity will continue. That will be strong within us the next life, and we're going to live in a place, in a community that is safe, where we are not robbed, where our possessions are not stolen. So those are some of the virtuous results that come from the sincere commitment not to steal. But moreover, as this commitment is developed within oneself, this commitment not to steal because I don't want to suffer leads to these virtuous results. But as one develops spiritually, one will also have the commitment not to steal because one doesn't want others to suffer. One will not want to add to the burden of pain and difficulty that others are experiencing. By taking from others, one does do so. And thinking this way, then the thought starts to come, how can I help others? How can I be of benefit to others? So in this way, this commitment not to steal starts to develop into a commitment to bring benefit to others, to help others. So here, the mind is now being developed from the commitment not to add to the burden of others, not to create causes or to lead to my suffering, to also not wanting others to suffer either. And this then further develops to wishing to benefit others. Wanting to benefit them with my physical activities, my way of speaking, my way of thinking. And here then one practices generosity. One aids others through the sharing of one's abundance, through the sharing of one's skills and talents and resources, and thereby easing the difficulty and the suffering that others are experiencing. So this too is virtue. It's coming from a virtuous intent, and one is physically being of benefit to others, verbally being of benefit to others, coming from a mind and intention, wanting to benefit and ease the burden of others. And in this way, we're accumulating virtuous karma, and when that ripens, again, we'll have an abundance of resources, we will not easily be harmed by others, and so forth. And that result will be experienced whether we're born as a human or as an animal, because as many animals, they too have no difficulty in terms of resources. They have many other difficulties, but in terms of resources, they have abundance of food, and they are cared for by companions. So therefore, from this commitment not to steal, there comes virtue. And as that's developed further, ever greater virtue comes too.
Loyam said that's how you jigme, Sambig, Samlo Tadi, Loyam Pampiki Kawasa Chagore. She's not Denige, Samlonala, Susuni, Loyam says how you jima, Sambi Samlota, and Ditone to Surum Soyagi, Surum Gang to Soyina, and the Dikavare, Delatine, and then answer Digi Jebu, and Digi Yonkore. She's not Dinenza, Mahobana, Soso, Chike. 소소기 미상으로 김답으로 시키기 사다이나 튜부다 아니 자사 튜부야고야다 아니 시키 소소게 사다 미샤다기 초야기 지게 바셰데 메바데 야고용 거래지래
디디바치 데이터만 하면서
제 소소라게 사다도 비에 미샤다기 초야기 되네 니가 메바용 거래지래
And the third of the 10 non-virtues, and the third of the 4 physical acts, is that of sexual misconduct. So recognizing that sexual misconduct is non-virtuous, and understanding that from causes that are non-virtuous, only suffering results come, then one gives rise to the commitment not to engage in sexual misconduct. And that commitment is virtuous. It's the commitment of abandoning sexual misconduct. And this mental attitude, this mind that is committing to not engage in sexual misconduct is virtue. And from this virtue, happiness will result. Happiness such as living in harmony with others. Happiness such as with one's partner, one will be harmonious and one will not experience sexual misconduct oneself either. So these kinds of virtuous results come from making the virtuous commitment to turn away from, to abandon sexual misconduct.
Jun shena dikare di debo de la azuge dunga yungore ane da jun pangpe pang gewa la de jun se de zaw ni shigme sambe samlo di ta dire and jun de jun se de ja jun se zaw ni shigme sambe samlo di jun pangpe gewa se gore 지난 데네게 준세 자오기니 시메 선배 삼로 따네 다디 디디안에 아주 가서서 기시에데 덴바 장부 근데 셰데 베수셰고데 예심을 해지래 디 제바이나 아니 아주 디 대보들라 마오바나 아주 지금 밀게바이나 미션다게 차상기 소소야 아니 지 소소 기시에바들 이치 덴보야 미 자는 이치제하다 미션다게 차상이야 어데 야고여미 이치는 뛰어나라야 아니 미션게 소소야 잠지 잠부지야 잠부 차상 거부지야 용구리 했을 테고.
Those are the 10 non-virtues relating to physical activities. And the first of the 4 that relate to verbal activities or verbal communication is lying. So lying, we know from society this is non-virtuous. And from non-virtue only suffering comes. So here when one makes the commitment, I will not lie anymore. Lying is non-virtuous, it will result in me suffering. Moreover, it causes harm to others. That commitment itself, the stronger that commitment not to lie, leads to the accumulation of virtue. The stronger the commitment, the greater the virtue. And then, in our future lives, through the result of that commitment, others will trust us, we will easily have harmonious relationships with others. And moreover, in this life, through committing not to lie, we will be honest to others, we will be honest in our interactions with others, and independent on that, we'll gain a reputation for being someone as honest, someone who's straightforward, someone who's not deceptive, someone who can be trusted and relied on. And this immediately in this life will lead to harmonious relationships with others. So therefore we can see results coming both in this and future lives from this commitment not to lie.
Chama said Migawache, D. would Dungayache, that Chama Pangbe Gawa that Chama said Mitumba, Zawine Chipa to Tushin Capture, Mitumba, Zawine Zugme, Sambege, and the some diety, that Chama Pangbe Gawa the Syria. That the nigger some dance in an answer that Mitumba, Machambaro, and Chazan Chambu Suete, the nigger Tumba to Yade, Yachimushu Chago Regere. 지난 데네 제바이나 안 디데보들라 가룡모스네 아니 아솔야 지미 구십제한마 용거래 구십제한다 아니 소소기 지게 내가 제한 소소 요구도 버치나 디수기야 소소야 구십다 내가 야고치야다 가질레 현기 소소야 구십제야 용거래 제래.
The second of the verbal non-virtues is that of divisive speech. So recognizing that dividing people who get on together, or harmonious together, that this is non-virtuous and will lead to suffering for oneself as well as, of course, for others, one makes the commitment to turn away from that. And this commitment is the virtue of abandoning divisive speech. And moreover, the stronger that this is within us, the stronger that this commitment is within us, when we combine this with the wish to not only not bring harm to others, but actually to benefit them, we will ensure that in our way of communicating and interacting with others, where that people are harmonious, we will try to strengthen that harmony between individuals or between groups. Or where there is disharmony, we'll try and bring about good relations, or at least improved relations between individuals and groups. And in this way, we're creating ever more virtuous karma that will result in happiness in the future. And such virtuous karma results in us having good relationships with others in the future, having respectful interactions with others. Others are respectful towards us. Others want to help us, see us as someone they want to be around and to aid us. So these and many other results come from the commitment not to engage in speech that is divisive.
Nene tsiksup se milya nebeke tsiksup sheba na da dikpari. Chisan di devo dunga yaade. Da dene tsiksup bangpe gewa la yade, da shen liya tsiksup se tsawa gini shegi me sempe samlata yade chigre. Dene samlata ne yam shen liya geshe duye, ane tsik nying chibu jine she nyemba, tsik nying chibu tohne she la pesu she yade gechi mori yalare. Di devo de la kari ngorse na maomba na tsiksup sheba na maomba na sosolya kyunjo kyo digi mino kyo jiki sasa sosolya nyoyage tsik mambu gugures. Chisa dine tsiksup pangba na pangpa ke gewa de devo maomba karasan sosolya dine ke tsik nyembo ane dyonga raya tsik nyembo mato tsik dukja kyo digi mino kyo kanga yabu mino sayade ane tsik minyemba dige tuigu mato tsik nyemba kya yunguri tu gugures chile.
The third of the verbal non-virtues is that of harsh speech. When one makes the heartfelt and sincere commitment to abandon harsh speech, then that is a virtue. That itself is a virtue. And as one develops this way of thinking, one will not only refrain from harsh speech, but one will ensure that one's speech becomes ever more gentle. And one's interactions with others is gentle. Then from this virtue, then in the future, oneself will not be spoken to harshly, one will not be criticized but rather praised, and again one will have good relations with others.
Dine ke ching da mara danda gyune me dige dine ke mangbo she de ban nga kya che dine ke chi shi me chi da mara da danda me be phan ma to be chi shi da me ne ya ro da dine ke chi mangbo she de ji zao gyune shi me sem be sem song ya da an dine sonne so sorangi da disu tongba yudu kablia kishi chike dine ke chike nga zugi nga ro sa senga ro sa ya da dine ke ani pechi doru loya ro da dine che tumda ya bo res
di gani hamas de loya di tamani hamas
ati di pechi loya
ale
do ro da dine pechi loya da dine chik meneta ya da nga chikare ta na dine ke ta ro chena dine ke 농바들 제반에 소소 파연세고 그래 제산 디게 제보들라 마음바나 소소기 기시베나 기시디게 칙디게 뉴버첨부 미수의 마셰베나 소소기 칙셰바 미 이치지하다 미 기시하다 오다디 퀘셔 템바레스나 이치지하다 어디 칙 뉴버첨부 차게레스.
And the fourth of the four verbal non-virtues is that of idle speech or meaningless speech. When one commits to abandoning this non-virtue, one will find one has quite a bit more time on one's hands, because this can result, engaging in meaningless speech can consume a lot of time. So making the commitment to abandon this, one has much more time to engage in virtue, doing one's commitments, reciting mantra, accumulating virtue. So in this way, there's perhaps you could say, the indirect result of abandoning non-virtuous speech is one has more time to engage in the virtuous verbal activities such as recitations and mantra recitations, etc. And the results that will come from this is that one's speech has much more power. Power in the sense that the impact that it has on others is far greater. And this is important in our spiritual context in that we'll be able to have a far greater what we say will have a far greater positive impact on others. It'll be much easier to positively influence others. So therefore it's important for this reason too, to make the commitment to turn away from meaningless speech.
napsim bangbaasene napsim sene shengi chala da shengi yuje ngal gogudu di nga togudu sembi samladi napsim sigore di ane mikaware sesada napsim bangbe kewala du denigi shengi sosoge wangche sosoge sosola raya topta mebege shengi chala karina di ngal gogudu sambadi zawogini jigime sebe rangi topta meba ane mi shengi chala dingi di raya topshina zawogini jigime sembege samdangbayna ane napsim bangbaasi gore jine denigi samdangje sosorangi da bejodan tongwe semba 다 차야 동외 semba 다야디 계침벌에 동외 semba 원알 주는 게 로치긴다 디티긴다 미판도 지긴다 sembe 삼론나 동외 semba 자야디 안에 계침부자 그래서 엔디네 제바이나 니기 제고 가리는 것은 예와치마 소수기 된다 주고에 삼든 주고에 되게 된다 되게 하고 주투 그래서 그래
We've looked then at the three physical non-virtues, the four verbal. Now we come to the first of the three mental non-virtuous acts, and that is covetousness. So this is being a mental act, is a mind that is desiring what others have, so a longing for what others have. Seeing that this is a non-virtue, and from non-virtue only suffering comes, one makes the active commitment to abandon this mind. Committing that should this mind arise, to not come under its influence, but to rather to eliminate it. So this commitment not to come under the influence of covetousness is virtuous. And as one develops this way of thinking ever further, one will start to develop a contrary mind. And the contrary mind to desiring what others have is a mind of generosity. The wish for others to have to have their needs fulfilled, to use our abundance to help others, whether it's what we have materially in abundance or our other skills and talents, to use these to be of benefit to others, to act generously towards others. Then the karmic ripening result that follows from these virtuous minds is that in our future lives, our own needs, our needs will be fulfilled, and they'll be filled with much greater ease. And this comes about in dependence on having abandoned covetousness.
Nösempane dine chala neba se zawgin jingme sembe sambe samdaje han sosorangage shenle pendor sa de gaji tutu jigin pembe jugin sembe pembe samlo jangures dine jeba ina di jebo de la ne jewa chima an sosoe je sosolie sosoge ne na za da shengi sosolia chewa cheya meba ane misuina semje ina da mina suina sosolia jambu che yongures.
The second of the three mental non-virtuous acts is that of harmful intent. So this is the wish to harm others or for harm to come to others. Seeing that this is a non-virtue that only results in suffering, one makes the commitment to abandon this way of thinking, and if it should arise, to not come under its influence. And this mind, this commitment of turning away from harmful intent is virtuous and will lead to happiness in our future lives. And as we develop this further within ourselves, not only have we turned away from the wish from this wish for harm to come to others or to harm others, but actually the wish to benefit others. The wish to benefit others as much as we can will grow within us, and that will then lead us to engage in activities to benefit others. And these are all virtuous acts and lead to desired happy results in our future lives. Our future lives won't experience illness, we'll receive help from others, we'll be harmonious and get on well with others. So this too, therefore, is an act of abandonment we must engage in, this commitment not to committing not to wishing for harm to come to others.
Lokta se di le gyune se yo mare, sangye yo mare, chue yo mare, se da dine she tawa di lokta chire. Dine samdangwe na lokta di ki dine nga su ki mutu ni eche na ne dunga yo ares. 제자들 lokta pangpe kewa la yundu da dinde lokta se da ki chu me sambe samdadi lokta pangpe kewa de che 제자 dini to ne da susurang ki ya ngchike le gyunje da ane konjo da sangye ya chike dawa yang da ba dini yore sambe dawa yang da ba ye di gyule namgyun de ki chu de ki chimore che 제자 dini za lokta se zao ki chu me sambe samdang to ne当然大外洋大把什么单位呢其实大外上部的给的呢目的想做的给呢给个是在点上给学主要了要判断清楚我理解了
And then the final non-virtuous action, the third of the three mental ones, is that of wrong views. So recognizing that one needs to abandon wrong views, one ensures one doesn't come under their influence and makes a commitment not to do so. So views such as, there's no such thing as karma, there's no such thing as cause and effect, or that the attainment of Buddhahood doesn't exist, the three jewels don't exist, that there's no teachings of the Buddha Dharma, or the Buddha Dharma has no benefit, there are no, the Sangha jewel, they also don't exist, the abandonment of the three jewels. So those kinds of wrong views, knowing that there are wrong views, one makes the commitment not to come under their influence. So here one too is not only turning away from a great non-virtue, but through making an active commitment not to come under the influence of wrong views, one accumulates virtue, which will only lead to happy results in the future.
미툼부여 바디 미툼에서 참아지야 아니 칸에바 직수 독샤 밀리아 라뇌야게 직수라야 아니 게디나 돈다 기네메바 계시 다마라 셰되야 나게지야 데네야 잘라 납심시디 미šan다게 잘라디 오딩알 고도 딩아라 합지고도 야나가 꾸마고 야나 초고 선비 납심리기로 하던 알 고도 선비 납심게야 데네 아직 게디나 샬레 뇌비게 삼바 콜리에 뇌에게 삼다야 데네 직상 예세의 요마 레긴의 요마 이치와 요마를 써야 돼. 데니그 lokta게바. 데니게 삼다바 있나? 개와치마 아니 나송을 깨야다. 디데고 동안요아데 셰모거래. 이내 체델에 있나야. 체델에 있나야. 미차상기 소쇼지야다. 로연지야다. 마침발레보 주인 참아체바나. 미수 미네 전 체델에 있나 소소 마키바. 아니 소소리야지 마 가소레 데니기 팀포야당 안 미샤다 수인의 이치마 어디에 미디 구마제그래 미디 안 소시에 망고치고 미디 주인시그래 이시지야 요 말세야다 안 미디기 수습견야시그래 미디염도 투니기 시겨 말세야다 아데 미디 셈바 상고요 말 미디베 낙셈 네심 안주 잘라이는 코라야 탑시 슈치기레스 민 납셈 슈요르세야다 미셈바 상고 미기 안주 뇌기 내가 망고치기 비 미디디 네심 슈요 야고 말셈 미샤상게 메기 세델리네 소수게 동안요야다 침마키와 차야기 규디 차고래 제산 체디다 깨워 침마인 차살이야 아주 강한 태기 규디 다지 소리에 체대다 체침만 니가랴 누스에 강한 태 규디를 해지래.
Brief, when we think about these 10 non-virtues, the presentation is always about the results that come in next lives, in future lives, because the 10 non-virtues lead to great suffering, in particular rebirth in the suffering lower realms. So the presentation focuses on that, and it's important that as Buddhists one reflects on our future lives. But it must also be understood though that through engaging these acts in this life, one will experience results too, such as someone who kills a lot. People will have one's relations with others in this life will be impacted if one's known as someone who kills a lot. Where it's even more obvious if someone is known as a thief. This will have an impact on one's relations with others. Same too with sexual misconduct. If one engages in these activities in this life, it has an impact right now too. Lying, divisive speech, harsh speech, this all has an impact that is visible in this life. Same too meaningless speech. One's time is consumed and others come to one wanting to talk about things of no great importance. And if one's mind, covetousness and harmful intent and wrong views arise and dominate one's way of thinking, this consumes our mental activity and keeps our mind away from virtue. So therefore even in this life, one experiences one's results. So generally speaking, the non-virtue the karma that's accumulated in this life will ripen in future lives. But if one has a habituation to engage in these acts, one will also experience similar results in this life. So therefore, for benefit for now, at this life, as well as our future lives, one should turn away from non-virtue.
Gewa nyamna di denige gewe jawa di gewa jubo di samlo na la yane ya do samda ga je chebaine digi debu digi mo bana ga gewa chima la da mi ko ma tobya den tele ya ane chi lo jue ya bu ya che ring bu ya ane chi so su gi mi shan da ge cha sang so so la go bu che ya ane so su ge dun da ga ju bu ne dun da de ya bu ju tu ya ane ya bu shung go le je san di che gewa chima sam da me ne 다 체딜 삼다베네 체딜 삼다베네 미차장 오다 미디오네 소조치마 미디오 구마케고 말에 미디 로임 지기 말에 미디 갸산시 말다 미장고레 빼야고 하세다 아 미디기 직수요 말 거기 빼야고 시기래서 미차장 거부 지야다 어디 미디기 오네라네 뇌심 기내요 말다 미디오네 판도 지야다 판심 시우요 하래서 밀이야 판도 지기래서 되니게서 미차상게 소수의 계시들라 이시제야다 미차상의 구시할 거부제야 아니지 차상 거부제야 최고 제가 되니 인자 소수의 최대 삼다비네 저기 디기요야 다 미차상의 소소를 거부제야 미차상을 뛰어나다 미차상 지금 소수의 삼비 되는게 야부 주야다 지금 요바이나 내 야 고야디로와 지난디 먼저기 최대래나 연구를 깨와 치마이나 연구를 디마 무티네 용부로와 제가 되네자 디제와나 세대다 제와 치마다 차산의 편비 되고 규체고 그래서 디기요야게 규디 디체고 그래서 되니게 삼노드까지 숙체 여바이나 안 소수기 데부디에 야가 용부로와 니버가 제체르나 제가 되니게 삼노 따야 돼 가지고 냠는 제야데 베주 제야데다 디체야 돼
The 10 virtuous acts then, these are the converse of the 10 non-virtuous ones. What's important to be clear on here is the virtue of not killing is not merely not killing. Not killing is not in itself virtuous. It's just merely not engaging in that non-virtue. What is virtuous is the commitment not to kill. So either in a particular instance, the commitment not to kill, the decision not to kill. Or if one here or elsewhere makes a commitment, I will not kill. That is a virtuous act. In this life I will never kill again. In this life I will not steal again. In this life I will not engage in sexual misconduct. I will not lie. I will not engage in divisive speech. I will not speak harshly to others and not engage in meaningless speech. I will ensure in my mind a covetousness doesn't arise in my mind, or harmful intent or wrong views. So when one makes this active commitment not to engage in these activities, these physical, verbal, mental activities, when one makes active commitment to abandon them, that is virtue. And the stronger this commitment, the stronger the virtue. The stronger the virtue, the greater the ripening result will be. And the benefits that will come in our future lives, the strength or the benefits that will come in our future lives depends on the strength of the virtue accumulated now. So the stronger the virtue, the greater the results, such as rebirth as a human or as a god, as opposed to the suffering lower realms, having an abundance of resources, being harmonious with others, being able to positively influence others, have a meaningful positive impact on the lives of others. So having that ability in our future lives depends on the causes we create now. And the stronger the causes that we create, the greater the results will be in our future lives. But moreover, even in this life, benefit will be experienced. If we make a sincere and heartfelt commitment to abandon the non-virtues, And moreover, if in our meditation we cultivate this way of thinking ever stronger, that we don't only turn away from non-virtue, but we actively engage in helpful acts and virtuous acts. In our future lives, great results will come, but so too in this life. We will be perceived by others as honest. We will be respected by others. We will be trusted by others. We will have abundance of friends. Wherever we go, we will feel a closeness to others, and others will naturally get on with us. And others will naturally take pleasure in our company. So this comes about through an initial commitment, a sincere commitment not to bring harm. And that means turning away from the non-virtues. Moreover, through cultivating the stronger, to wanting to be of benefit to others. And the stronger these attitudes are within us, the greater the results that will follow. So the meaning of practice, the meaning of Buddhist practice, means to develop ever stronger virtuous minds within us, and weaken the non-virtuous minds that we have in us. And in dependence on the strength of our virtuous minds, we will therefore, there will be resulting virtuous physical and verbal behavior. But Buddhist practice is primarily about developing our minds, developing our way of thinking, developing ever stronger virtuous minds, and conversely weakening non-virtuous minds.
Dungaya Guchu Migawa Chu said, the Dungaya Guriti Padu says, that Gawa Chu said, the Digiyaki Gawa Judy Gawa Chu said, Chesang to Karakugus and Gawa Judy Yamlanchi, or the Yane Yado, sometime the Yeshimore, sometime. Chesan D sometime to Mahobana, Digion, that out to him. That Milikiare, that are to Subutana, Yobata, and are to Tungin the Jayata, Yobadi, Kiawangamaki, to Mitiki, to Kiawa Judy, Yamlan Chebalet in the Yonawa, says that are to get the Yamlan Migo Judy, Kaskawa Judy, Yamlan Chebana, Mahoban and Dilayaya to Mato Dudra. That's it, Delayang to Yamlan Yapachima, Migo Judy Kanya Chebana, Kiawachima Dudra Chewa. Teneza that the Kiawa Judy, Manzuki. Dus moche shabadi di samno taadi chisa samno den sosa yan taadi that danda dire geshe dire.
Now, presentation today we're looking at cause and effect. So we've heard about that from non-virtue comes suffering, from virtue comes happiness. Then we spoke about what is meant by non-virtue and virtue. And these are the 10 non-virtuous acts. These lead to suffering. The 10 virtuous acts, these lead to happiness. And we spoke then about how one can accumulate virtue, and that it doesn't involve necessarily doing anything. It certainly doesn't involve needing to go and buy something or acquire something. It is primarily transforming our mind. And the way to transform our mind is, the starting step is, as the Buddha said, to accumulate knowledge. And with that knowledge, we need to reflect on that knowledge. In the same way as you've been doing during this talk. In this talk you've been hearing things and thinking about them. So you've been acquiring knowledge and reflecting on it. And in this way, we are developing virtue. We are understanding what are the actions to abandon and what are those to accumulate. What are the ways of thinking that bring suffering and those that bring happiness. And in the same way that the stronger the cause, the stronger the result, similarly, if we really want to transform our minds, if we have as an objective to become a kind-hearted person, to become someone that's wise and compassionate and loving, this doesn't come about based on the mere occasional aspiration. It comes about in dependence on the gathering of knowledge and repeatedly over a sustained period reflecting on that, meditating on that, transforming our way of thinking. So right now, in this life, we are all humans. Hopefully we're in good health. We all have pretty good conditions living here. These are all results, and these results have come about in dependence on causes that we have accumulated in our past lives. And to experience results at least this good in our future lives will come about in dependence on, in this life, accumulating these good causes. So today we've spoken about what are the causes that will lead to happiness, and what are the causes that lead to suffering, and how to abandon them. So if we want to ensure that our future lives are at least as good as this life, on one hand we can have confidence that because what we're experiencing now has come about independence and causes we ourselves have accumulated, we know that we can accumulate causes of this strength. And with this knowledge that has been shared today, if one repeatedly over a sustained period develops one's way of thinking, engages in meditation on what one has heard, then one's virtuous mind will grow ever stronger, and thereby the virtuous causes that will result in happiness, they grow ever stronger, and the causes that are non-virtuous, that result in suffering, will grow proportionately weaker. So that is in your hands. That is something that we all have the ability to do.
구신 군다 샤야다 데네 최된 샤야 다 소소랑 샤마도 베네 최된 샤야다 아니 군다 샤야다 신대로체 데네 야야다 데네 그 망부메다 소소 지금 고모 찡이 잡토베네 니 계획 자와 아니 지금 개와 치마랑 안 돌려 안티기가 규사고 개와 두개 데네 시차고 제가 데네 개와 두달을 다 말아 여러와다 두세.
Engagement in Buddhist practice is primarily a mental activity, and as this mental activity brings about transformation, one will ever more so want to engage in an expression of that mental activity, physical, verbal acts. So there's a wide variety of acts that one engages in to accumulate virtue that will lead to benefit in our future lives, such as making offering to the 3 jewels, as we have here, circumambulating stupas, reciting mantras, getting involved in the construction of new stupas, or the construction of statues. And there's many other virtuous activities one can engage in. So these are kind of physical as well as verbal activities. And the power that of these virtuous activities comes about in dependence on the power of the motivating virtuous mind, which is what primarily we spoke about today. And that mind then can be expressed through these variety of virtuous activities as well. And they too lead to great benefit in this and future lives.
That Sydney to Lake Baba Missachilwa, and Tualeso in Leso. Conjugate that Garjas was sitting on the Kadambi, Chotin Shia, the Leshin Depta, and then I took the Chosona Leshin Depche, the Chotin Shia, Kadambi Chotin Shia, Shindip Kumajadam of Samateson, and then the Choso Leshin de Kumajata, which to Station, in the Angel. And that didn't cross the Jabans, that cross the Misantiki, and it didn't puke, Sonam Tela Tene, cross the Luki Nasa, Semki, Dunga Tamchi Mebata, cross the Jawalam Yakoya, and they get in Chuchuga, Chuga, some of the Yana Yadu, Yagi Chinche, Gay Jawati, Yamla Yakoya, she always begins Chasaya, Chasangi, the Monam Chikashurachis.
This afternoon I met a Tibetan family who had come down from Sydney. So when they visited us now, they were very delighted to see our Dharma Center, and they've offered $100 for our Dharma Center. And they saw the stupa that is in the process of being built here, and they also offered $100 towards its construction. And so this they do because they have an understanding of the great importance of the Buddha Dharma. And they have an understanding of cause and effect, of causality. So they're doing this with aspiration to accumulate virtue and later to be able to experience his virtuous results. So this is, when hearing about this is something that we also should delight in and rejoice in. And when we come to dedicate in a moment, we dedicate the virtue that they have accumulated, and we do so with joy, that may they and all beings experience health, good health, may their virtuous activities and the virtuous activities of all beings be supremely successful, and all those engaging in reflection on the Buddha Dharma, all those who are trying to improve themselves as people and have a virtuous or a beneficial impact on this world, may the self-improvement come about very successfully. Okay. So thank you. We'll finish here then, and if you can take the offering afterwards, thank you.